Okay. All right. I believe everybody can still see my screen. Okay, good. So, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And welcome to Vibe Engineering series by Machine Learning Uyo. My name is Victor Jacob Asuko, and I work as an AI engineer. Basically, if you look at what is happening today, we're having a lot of shifts from how we usually build softwares, and as a result of this, we no longer spend time on building softwares, right? And really, what we want to do is we want to look at how we can improve our productivity by leveraging on these AI tools. And we really want to start with Gemini, or should I say anti-gravity, because anti-gravity enables a workflow which is different from every other AI editor or IDA, like you normally know. So if you look at Copilot, for example, Copilot is actually good, but if you try to do something that really takes a lot of time, it's going to get locked. Why? Because VS Code was not designed for agentic development. And aside from that, I believe that most times you can see people, or you notice that people use AI to generate flyers, to generate graphics, to generate a lot of things. And in there are some systems, or the other day I was speaking with Goodness and I was like, there's no how we are going to use AI to generate any website or any landing page. I'm going to know it right from seeing it afar. But the case was different. Why? Because if you don't know how to prompt, or should I say, you don't know how to manage your context really well, you have issues. You just generate maybe a good application or something really basic. But if you look at the website we can use AI to create today, even if these systems are still vibe coded, um, there's there's every probability that you won't know that okay, this was made with AI or this was built with AI, and that was why we introduced Vibe Engineering Series. Look at it this way: Vibe Engineering Series is natively um coming to tell us that now, how do we actually become? How can we be productive in the age of AI? How can we leverage these AI tools? Some people say prompting is telling AI what you want it to do for you, and this is not really true. Why? Because prompting alone won't get to give you the best out of it. So you have to manage context, you have to do a lot of that. So throughout Vibe Engineering series, I'm really excited about this series, and we'll be having sessions, workshops, and tutorials around it. So with that, I'm really pleased to share that our first session for Vibe Engineering series is context management with anti-gravity. And our speaker is here already. It has been a while we had any session um, around machine learning and AI in the community. The community is almost being dormant, but I'm really excited for the engagement that we have been having really recently. So without wasting any further time, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's session. First, I would say thank you so much, Mr. Goodness, for accepting to be a speaker for this session, and to everybody that have really made it to this session. Thank you very much on behalf of me and the community network. It means so much to us. Everything we do is entirely free. So I'll be in the comment section to address questions or refer to links to join the community and groups. Okay, so Mr. Goodness, thank you very much for joining us. You can go ahead and start.
Thank you very much, Victor, for that awesome welcome. I really appreciate it. And yes, please confirm that my voice is really audible. You can hear me.
Yes, it's audible.
Nice, fantastic. So I'll be sharing my screen. I'm here actually to teach, but also I'll be learning a lot from this session because myself, uh, I have an idea. I have a sort of thought process of what I want to teach, but I decided to just not prepare per se for the session, but have this setup. So I've created the directory, and this is the image that was designed for the program. So I'll be preparing here for the program with you, and then we'll be learning together. I hope that sounds great. So
Yeah, that's good.
my first prompt will be to use the attached image to create a slide or presentation and prepare me for the session. So by the end of this session, I believe a lot of us will walk away with other skills, other knowledge that we did not have before coming here. And myself as well, I'll be doing that. So you can see my agent right now is analyzing the picture, and he is already thinking. I like to call it a he because I know that guys love to think a lot. So these things, and I'll let it do its stuff. You can see it tells me that, oh, I'm now focused on structuring the presentation. I'm exploring the context management aspects relating to anti-gravity and a lot of stuff. You can see it says here I'm starting the planning phase. I've analyzed the flyer provided by Goodness Mbakara, so it knows my name, and this is just a fresh start. Okay, I would say, okay, this guy knows my name because there is Goodness Mbakara right here. So this is pretty interesting. You can see here it's trying to browse the web. It found an error. It could not monthly usage had limit exceeded. Oh, my limit for using this tool has been exceeded. But it goes ahead to create a speaker note and an implementation plan for me. So I'm going to proceed with the implementation plan without having to read it. And this says here, create a premium high fidelity web-based presentation for the upcoming Vibe engineering session. A lot of things. It will initialize a Vite React project for the presentation. I am all for it. I want to see what anti-gravity will create for this. Interesting. Okay, so it will have a title slide. These are all the things you would have need to review to actually accept that. And it picked, interestingly, one of the colors is orange, which is the dominant color here. You see, orange is the dominant color and the color for the machine learning community. So this feels like the decisions is made has been rather really informed than how would you call it, just thrown over there. Let me review the detailed speaker notes. Oh, it's deleted. Okay, this is a speaker note. So all of this, I'm definitely just going to give it a minute for it to do its abracadabra and start the project for us. So let's give that a few minutes. I can already see some files have been created. We have SRC, index, different things here. Edited it. Interesting. So it's beginning to build the slide component from what I can see here. So it's edited our CSS file. Now it's trying to edit our index.html file, and it's trying to build to see if there is any errors by itself. Okay, it's checking this white file. What is here to make it that interesting? So now we are having installations of the dependencies that is necessary. Uh, but there was a lot of errors here. I suppose it will correct itself. Yeah, it's updating the dependencies to modern byte and completing the build. So it just did that. Let's see and hope that this runs now. We can see that was successful. I mean, I cannot be happy yet till I see what it has actually created. So it says we should cd into presentation and run. Let me create a new terminal and do just that. So I'll cd into presentation and then I will npm run dev. Okay, let's see. We go to 5173. What do we have here? Laterally, you can see we have a blank screen. And this is interesting. This is what will set you aside from a regular engineer or vibe coder. Because this already tells me that, oh, I'm not supposed to see a blank screen. If this guy said he has built some interesting stuff for me, why is there a blank screen? But because I have knowledge of Vite, I know that if there is a blank screen like this, that means there is an error somewhere. So that is our lesson one. The lesson one of this is that aside vibe coding, you need to know what the technology is. You need to actually have some sort of experience yourself. So when people actually say that, oh, vibe coders are going to take software engineers work, I don't think that's correct. I actually believe that the software engineers that can vibe code that will take software engineers who cannot vibe code. So I just came to the console. I can see this uncut type error. I'll just copy this and give it back to the agent. Tell you, hey, you did some mistakes right there. Kindly correct that. Let's see how the agent is going to react to this. Please confirm you can still hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. So the agent is thinking at this point, it's made an edit over here. And while all of this is still changing, let me just go ahead and I'll go right ahead and refresh. And we see this screen. This looks beautiful. Of course, there are a lot of changes that we'd like to make to this. Uh, this Uyo is not showing really well. Context management. Other than that, I would say this design is great. So we are going to use this. I don't know the content of this beforehand, but we are going to use this to teach. So welcome to context management with Antigravity. Today, my name is Goodness Mbakara. I am a software engineer. I have been building software for quite a long time now. I started building software when there was only Reddit and Stack Overflow and Google. You want to go there to find your problems and you suffer. I remember back in 2021 when I called one of my friends, I was like, Omo, I know they understand this concept though. Then I was doing just backend. It'd be like they give up. The guy was like, is it just, why are you giving up? Is it just because you don't understand? But he was able to make me understand. The idea of bringing that up is that then all you had was to Google, you search, you find answers. There was no LLM that you can just ask, what is this error? And it will just tell you, go and find resources and come and tell you the correct answer. There was nothing like that. So, what a time to be alive, right? So, to have been alive in that time, to now be alive in a time where you can actually prompt an LLM to give you an exact reference to the problem you are solving. And you can look at that reference and try to solve it. So, who is anti-gravity? Interesting. Anti-gravity is an agentic assistant, not a chatbot. I believe that this is significant because in after the L and we had the chat GPT, we had DeepSeek, we had Codex, like a lot of these LLM tools that you just prompt, even Replit Core, where you just prompt and it will tell you, oh, this is the code or this is your problem. You copy it and go to your VS Code and paste. Okay. That's what you would do. That is a chatbot. But then some companies, a lot of companies like Cursor, which is the lead company in this case, came up with that. Okay, instead of asking you to just go copy this code and come and paste in your editor VS Code, the agent, the LLM can actually edit these changes or this code for you inside your code base. So that was interesting. And that was a whole paradigm shift until anti-gravity came on the board and turned things around. So anti-gravity came to be an agentic assistant, not a chatbot. So that would mean it is a creator. So it is a creative actor, it acts on its own, and then is going to criticize its action. So an agent be like, okay, an agent can think and decide for itself, basically. That's what we should say. So the whole anti-gravity is driven by an escape velocity philosophy, where you are not bound by the knowledge gap that you currently have or that you currently know before starting to write your code. And this is possible because there is autonomous research and then there is verification loops. I'm sure that we are going to be exploring all of this. So, what is entropy of information? Of course, one paradox of large context windows is that we think that more is better. Can you still hear me?
Are you
Uh,
are you screen recording? Are you screen recording? Your PC.
no, I am not. I am not. I believe that the host is
From
doing
where?
that already. I believe the host is doing that.
You need to just be
But
on
can you?
record.
I cannot hear you well now. What did you say?
I bet see. They said I'm on record.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, now please, can you use the chat? You can just mute your mic and use the chat. Victor will attend to you. Yeah, thank you very much. But please, you can confirm with a thumbs up that you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know, please, with a thumbs up. Fantastic, thank you very much. Okay, fantastic. So let's get back to the topic of the day. So with information, more is actually not better here. So a lot of times we are throwing in a lot of inputs. I believe that this is actually best demonstrated, and I'll build some application of sorts so that we can understand better. And really, what's I mean, I don't know what's in the rest of the slides. Let me see what's in the rest of the slides. Knowledge items. This is beautiful. So this is really what anti-gravity has done. So knowledge items really is a kind of summary of what your entire project or your chat history. So your chat itself is ephemeral. What ephemeral means is that we store it, but then we delete a part of it or we delete it entirely. So we don't really store it persistently. But what is persistent though is knowledge items. So we know that goodness Mbakara always use React or Vite for his project, not Next.js. We know that, oh, goodness Mbakara like maybe an MVT structure and not an MVC structure. Okay, architecture, I mean. It so what it does is it distills your architectural truths and then saves them to avoid redundant research every turn. Then of course this creates a persistent standard for coding and design. Okay, moving on. I mean, I like this. The reason I like this a lot is because anti-gravity is the one that created this for us right now. We're using it to learn anti-gravity. So anti-gravity has actually, it takes in artifacts, and the whole artifact stuff I learned about it quite recently, that all the assets that anti-gravity itself creates, all the assets that you impute into Antigravity is actually stored as an artifact in Antigravity. So you can always find it there. And if we go back to our what we just did now, you will see that it created a presentation plan. You can see this is an implementation plan that it created and asked us these are the proposed changes. I will initialize a new Vite that will contain this and contain that. This is what I'm going to use, all of this. And we gave it a go. And suddenly that started going and we're just fine. So the first thing anti-gravity does is the implementation plan, which is what it is trying to tell us. And then it creates a tax.md. Let me see if I can fetch the tax.md that we had for this. Yeah, this is the tax.md that it created for us here. And the first task was to plan and research. So it analyzed the session flyer and researched, made a research. You remember it tried to even use our API server, API MCP, which said that, oh, okay, we've overused our usage for this month. Then it created an implementation plan. So these are the tasks. What will I do? What will I do? What will I do? But this guy did not create a cheat sheet for me. Oh, okay. I mean, that was just in one shot. In one shot, we're able to get this. So imagine what if we told it like something like, oh, um, let me hide this first. So let's tell this agent that okay, uncluster this design because I feel like it is actually very clustered and go through all your tasks, which would be this preparing a cheat sheet for me. Okay. So I'm going to send this and we are going to continue our presentation. At the end of the day, we'll see what it has actually created else for us. So what is the philosophy of vibe engineering? The philosophy is that high fidelity outputs through context selection and the total alignment. Oh my god. I think this is actually nice. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. You see, it has created the cheat sheet for us, and this is my cheat sheet. And we'll come back to the cheat sheet. And it has refined the design to uncluster the layout. This is cool. I mean, this actually looks like the flyer that was sent, and like this looks really niched down for this event. And I love it. I love it so much. And trust me, like Victor would say that he knows if a website was vibe coded, he would not know that this was vibe coded, right? He would think that, oh, I hired the designer he hired to actually build this. So back to the philosophy of vibe engineering, which is actually human AI flow and minimizing technical friction. The whole idea is understanding that your job is to pass your intent to the agent and not to actually build the website. Just pass your intent. Oh, this whole thing is clustered, or I don't like how the M is looking. I don't like the text or this. Word that intent correctly and pass it to the agent so that the agent can understand, make the right decision, and actually go ahead to engineer. So you don't just leave your agent hanging. Yes, you don't just leave your agent hanging to do all the work by itself. So you review the process. If you notice when it was actually trying to code, I was looking, what is the thought process? Okay, I'm coming back to the thoughts now. What is it thinking about? It's focused on this, focused on that. Then I can now tell you that, oh, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Or go and fetch this documentation. I would like to use this database, or I'd like to use that database. And we move from there. So we are now ready to launch. Real time reaching escape velocity, question and answer. So we have spent 30 minutes doing this. I am going to allow for questions at this time because this is what anti-gravity said we should do. And then I'll get into building something and showing us how context management and the whole human in the loop, how it actually works. So if there is any questions, you can use the microphone and ask the question. So I answer now before we move on in. a minute if there is no question. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction you have given to us. That's really helpful. And so far, do you have any question? Is there any question from anybody? Because one of the concept or the way we like to I like to okay, we have a question here. So Clement, please you can go ahead.
In case you're
Okay,
speaking, your microphone is unmuted. Is
yes,
not
yeah.
is not is muted actually. So you have to unmute and speak. Mr. Labi, your microphone is muted. You can unmute and speak,
Oh,
please.
oh, oh. Sorry, I was waiting for the other person to respond. Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for this section. Really appreciate it. So I joined in quite late. I saw the link somewhere in a group. So sorry, may I have an idea of the prompts, like just an idea of just the prompts that you use to just create this beautiful, what do you call it, site? So because I joined in quite late. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. I can quickly do that. So this is what we did. I started that. I decided not to prepare for this session, that I'll allow Antigravity to prepare me. So I told Antigravity to use the attached image, which is this image here, the flyer for this event, to prepare me for this session by creating a presentation slide and stuff like that. So that's just a prompt. And it went ahead in about 2 minutes or three. It gave us an implementation plan which I've worked through. I accepted, and it's created what you call now a beautiful slide or website for us.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Yeah, I appreciate.
Okay. So let's take the last question, if any, and then we'll move,
Yeah,
please.
so we have two more questions. Mr. Otto wanted to ask a question. You can go ahead. Then we can answer the question in the chat as well.
Uh, Hello, sorry, can I ask my question?
Yes, you can.
Uh, Good evening, machine learning guru. Thank you very much, Sir Goodness Mbakara, for this session. It's very educating. Please, I would like you to please organize the following words, or should I call it context, in their order and how they interrelate. AI came on board, and then we've been hearing of, how do you call it, vibe coding. How do you call the other one? Agentic AI, and then, yeah, the topic today is context management, and I think there's some other one. Okay, but for the three, please could you reorganize them according to their hierarchical structure and how they interrelate, please? Thank you very much.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. So these three will be the last questions we are taking before moving on. And is vibe coding is a term that, oh, Victor, you want to go ahead? Please do, please. Please go ahead.
So yeah, we have one more question. So I would like you to answer that one before you answer the last one and continue with part two of the session.
Okay, okay. So I'll add the last. I should add the question. The last question is what you're saying.
Yes, so the question by Olivia is okay. Basically, I would I would love to ask you, is it anti-gravity or Kiro can be used to develop Spring Boot projects, like how it can be developed by using I Intel intelligent
So,
ID, or
okay,
what is the
fantastic,
best AI agent? Is it anti-gravity or Kiro, and why?
fantastic, fantastic. So those are really brilliant questions as well. So I'll definitely answer them after I'm done with what is vibe coding. Vibe coding is a term that is just coined to mean that, oh, I'm prompting AI and AI is changing code in my source code, which is your source code is, you can call it, that's the file that your code is being stored in. Okay, hope you understand that. So vibe coding is a term that represents the act of using artificial intelligence, large language models, to actually write code. And then vibe engineering is a term that would suggest an informed, right? An informed way of vibe coding. So you're not just throwing prompts. The prompts you're writing are intentional. The prompts you're writing are well informed and educated to achieve a certain goal, right? And then the last questions, or the last two here, is it anti-gravity or Cairo? So Cairo is also spec-driven development. So it's also a tool that you can use to build or vibe code or ask your AI to make stuff for you. And it's actually also agentic in a way. I will call it agentic because it has spec-driven development where it plans first and then it executes or implements those plans. Okay. So either is actually good. The idea here is to understand, because when, just like saying, am I a software developer or a software engineer? I mean, it doesn't really matter if you are using Python, if you are using JavaScript, if you are using TypeScript. Once you understand the engineering principles, you can use any tool, really. You can use any tool to do what you want to do. What Antigravity has proven, and is actually the first agentic vibe coding IDE tool that we have, or that we know of. So yes, anti-gravity would be the go-to tool to actually use here. And the best AI agent is really, how well do you know how to prompt? Okay, so you actually have to answer that question for yourself. I'm currently looking at ID and I see that it has access to several models. Does the output depend on the model used for the structure of prompting? Also, what model would you recommend to use? Yes, the models actually affect the output, but it is more important the prompt and the way you are actually going to use. So, which model is the best? From benchmarks, we know that Cloud Opus 4.6 produces really good backend results, really good complex logical results. If you want to go to design, you want to use the Gemini 3.1 Pro Flash, and the choice of agents or models that you want to use would depend on what how many API tokens do you have left for them, what are you trying to do, and a host of other questions. The question about what's that last question, Seth? The question about Spring Boot, yes, it can actually use IntelliJ. Is just like I think PyCharm, right? IntelliJ is the company that owns PyCharm, which is a tool you use to write Python code. Majorly, anyway, you can use it to write other codes. And IntelliJ has VS Code, I suppose. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point, but yes, you can use anti-gravity. In fact, I used anti-gravity to build a mobile app as well just recently. So I'm going to use these particular questions here. I'm going to take a screenshot of these questions and we are going to build something awesome. So I mentioned again, I decided to come here unprepared. So let's add anti-gravity to prepare us. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this and I'm putting it out back into our anti-gravity prompt model. So I'm going to give it the prompt. Clean up our presentation. The funny thing is you can actually use the voice model as well. You can decide to just speak. So anti-gravity, I wanted to clean up our workflow and our workspace at the moment. And these are some questions we have from the presentation we just had now. I would like you to actually extract concepts from this question, come up with a project idea that we can build that will help demonstrate and solidify the context management with anti-gravity. Thank you. So I'm going to send that in and just see the magic that anti-gravity is going to do for us. I can also decide to change model at this point. Let me change to one of the best models I know. It doesn't affect this particular prompt I sent anyway, because remember we sent with Gemini 3.0 and that is all totally fine. You would think that I just sent the voice note, it to be hard for it. You see, it's already just cleaned up our workspace and created an archive, put everything there. So let's see the idea that it's going to come up with, and I'm here to learn. So it is saying, following the session, we've extracted three core pillars from the audience curiosity. Can it be used to develop Spring Boots like IntelliJ? Okay. Unlike IntelliJ, Antigravity performs dynamic agent research. It can read your Spring Boot controllers, infer API structures, and even run the Gradle builders to verify error. So it builds a knowledge item. Okay, all of this. The question, what is best? The vibe engineering. Next steps, launching Context Guardian. We are building a demo project that demonstrates the exact pattern to show an agent maintaining a source of truth in a simulated Spring Boot environment. Okay, having all this idea, I'm not going to build what it has suggested right now. So I'll tell it to actually instead go make a research on an undervalued industry on the web. We will be building a project for a company that perhaps does not have a web application yet, and then we will integrate Spring Boot. Mind you, I've never written Spring Boot all my life. I've never written Spring Boot, so I don't even know what the file extension looks like. But let's see what the anti-gravity is going to do for us, right? So we'll integrate uh, Spring Boot with it. I'm sending the prompt. Let's see what happens. And we have just about 20 minutes to do all our shenanigans. I think I might have to install Spring Boot. I might have to do a lot of things that would take us a lot of time. But I hope that this will be easier and faster than what I anticipate anyway. So right now, we are going on into a research. So this is researching undervalued industries. So what undervalued means that, oh, these oil industries, it has not been valued as much as it should be valued. That tells you that it has a potential to blow up. So you would want to build a web application for a company that has a huge potential to blow up and a lot of people are not really considering it, right? So that's one thing to think of. You can go ahead to make such research and you can see it searched the web here. Let's see. Okay, so several industries are identified as potentially undervalued while simultaneously lagging. So a lot of sources. So if you clicked on these sources, you see that, oh, these are actually real life research, real life work that has been done already. So interesting. It is looking at laundry dry cleaning businesses. Has it really been that undervalued? Interesting. So I mean, it has its own data source. It's not just telling you things out of the blue. The AI is not hallucinating. It's telling you, okay, many Nigerian and dry cleaning operate without significant digital presence, such as websites or mobile applications, despite a growing national trend towards digital transformation across small and medium-sized enterprises. This gap presents both challenges and opportunities within an industry projected to reach $3 billion by 2034. A significant portion of Nigerian small and medium-sized businesses show low adoption rates of digital. We want to be faster, actually. Want to be faster. So I'm going to tell you to use the design skill and start a design for a laundry company already. Oh, it's already coming up with an implementation plan. So let's review it. I thought it would take longer than this, but so it has identified these are top five candidates: random opportunity, waste management. Oh, interesting. Laundry and dry cleaning. Uh, why it's undervalued? Waste management. Our then research of the archetype. Okay, okay. So what? Let me have feedback from you guys. Which one should we look at, please? Which one should we look at? Just write in the comments and I'll pick one. So choose which of the five of these should we look into. Okay, agriculture, supply chain, laundry services. So we have two laundry service already. Confirm you can still hear me, everyone, please.
Yeah.
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, so and start a design for a laundry service. Or I can just tell the laundry service, it will do the research. Let's allow it to take its full process itself. So he told me to select which industry you would like to build for, and I'll then research a specific company or archetype within that industry and build the full Spring Boot application. So let's see how that turns out. And I must warn you, there's a high chance this is going to take a little bit above an hour cap. So we started at 4 p.m. And of course, we've gone through the whole entire theoretical aspect. And this was the teacher notes, which the uh, anti-gravity generated for us. And we talked about the fuel that makes modern agentic AI run, which is context really. And of course, context is describing the scenario, giving enough information about what the agent needs to actually get the work done. And we know that anti-gravity isn't just a chatbot, it's an agentic coding assistant designed to reach escape velocity by automating the heavy lifting. What is the heavy lifting here? Majorly research and knowledge items. So the entropy problem really is that large context windows are a double-edged sword because more tokens are just like characters. More words equals to more noise. The more you talk, people begin to be confused. That's the same thing. The more context you are trying to give by yourself, the agents may actually get confused and not know what to do. So having 1 million tokens is like having a giant library but no index. You get lost in the start. I don't even know the research it went through, but I'm just going to proceed. Let it just do its stuff. Whatever it feels like is the right thing to do, just do it. So what is the concept of the knowledge items? So knowledge items are distilled snapshots of truth, patterns, legacy architecture, and project standards. So, for instance, goodness Mbakara likes to use React, Vite, Svelte. So that is okay. This is one problem I actually already envisioned that we don't have what it may take to build this project. But let's see how anti-gravity is going to actually overcome all those challenges. So the first solution, of course, knowledge items. And the second one, which is part two, is the working memory slash artifact. And I showed us how the uploaded image that we used to actually create the slides or presentation slides was stored in the artifact. So tax.md and implementation plan, this implementation plan, they are not just documents. If you come here, you see the plan. Okay, these are REST API design. I mean, the person that asked the question, I'm sure you have knowledge of backend very well, and you probably use Spring Boot all the time. So you understand what all these endpoints means. Okay, and let's all come back to the speaker notes. You can see that they are not just documentations, they're actually in the agent state. So the agents understand what that means. And this keeps us anchored in case connection drops. Let's say as we are actually building this stuff, it stopped or my network got dead or something like that, it will be restored. We'll know that, oh, this is where the tax stopped. So we have a tax.md. We know that, okay, you can see it has research laundry business workflows and it's already designing. So each one that it does to mark that, oh, this one is in progress, this one is not started yet, this one is done, that one is not done. And that is just about it. So going back to the speaker notes, again, which we had created by the anti-gravity. You know that they can see you, right? Well, yeah, this is one of my colleagues, Morgan. You can say hi. Yeah. So persistent context. Persistent context is, of course, the identity. So anti-gravity actually stores your context. So what are those things? For me, there are some lessons I told Gates. Please never force push to Gates. Never do it. Because it was once he did that stuff, it was like Gates push dash A. I was like, Jesus, what did you just do? So yes, if you look down, they let me close down some of this. Let me go back here. So if you look down, it will tell you that okay, let me click this. Let's see. Where do we see it? There's a place that it says AI makes mistakes. Review what the AI has done. But if you notice, I actually closed this window. I can begin doing something else entirely right here. And you will notice that we go back. Our AI agent is still running. I could decide to just leave these, come back 2 hours later and it would have finished doing all that we needed to do. So you can see this is Fresh Press API, a Fresh Press API. So perhaps the project is Fresh Press. Let me go back and follow the thought process. We have talked about stop fighting your tools, manage your context, and let anti-gravity handle the gravity of the task. Anti-gravity is handling the gravity of the task right now. But remember, we are humans in the loops. I like to know what anti-gravity is thinking and what it is actually doing. So let me while this is ongoing, I will tell it to install Maven, Spring Boot, or any other system dependencies I will need to run a Spring Boot application. So because we remember that this is going to be a problem in the future. So I can as well start doing this now while the website and the API is being built or developed by itself. So it has seen that, oh, I have Java installed already. I have Homebrew, but I don't have Maven, I don't have Gradle, and it is going ahead to install that. That's beautiful. And while it is doing that, I'm just going to go back to our core project. How beautiful is that? That is so beautiful. And honestly, I hope that this goes on faster than it's supposed to. Of course, we are building a really heavy website. This is a serious project that we are trying to build in a few minutes, a few seconds, or something like that. So please, I'll plead with you to actually allow us a grace of more time so that you can see the magic, you can see the miracles that this guy can do, because this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. Let me go back to all the thoughts process. Trying to go back here to the thought process. So this, it thought for 6 seconds. The user approved the implementation plan. Time to start building the Spring Boot backend. So he started building the Spring Boot backend. This is fine. This is totally fine. And okay, while this is done, I'm going to tell you focus on the front end now. So because I'm telling you to focus on the front end now, because we have another process that is already installing Maven and every other thing, right? The While the front end will be started, of course, when it feels like when it has actually gotten the instruction, it's going to start focusing on the front end. I mean, it's starting now to focus on the front end. I'm going to create another process that would test the back end entirely and make sure all APIs are working as intended. So now we have three flows. The first flow was to actually start implementation of the backend. And now the implementation of backend is sort of done. The implementation is sort of done. I'm doing all of this at once. I hope you don't get confused because I'm trying to manage time and be very fast. I mean, with this kind of flow, you can build an entire project in one day. You can build an entire website in one day. Or, I mean, in 2 hours, right? Because remember, in the first 30 to 40 minutes, we use that to actually answer questions, to actually go into theory. And the whole practical stuff has been on for less than 30 minutes now. And we can already see that the backend is ready. So this particular agent terminated because of an error. Maybe that's, I'm going to just change the model and then I'm going to retry. So tell it to continue. So retrying, I'm just telling it to continue. So when I tell it to continue, because it manages context on its own, it can remember where it stopped. So it said, let me continue exploring the backend structure. So it remembers that it was actually exploring the backend structure and then run the test. So I need to read the key file and then check if the server is running and test all the APIs. So that's fantastic. And I love to actually implement, implement using CDD skill. Let me see if I can get that up. Okay, not here. CDD skills. So I want to use test-driven development. I want to write actual tests to the files. So let me go back and check what is happening to the front end. Okay, this guy is the one installing MVN and the rest of the other stuff. Thanks to the guy that says we should do Spring Boot. So everyone is going to learn Spring Boot today. Now let's see the status of our front end. So this is using Vite. Okay, this is interesting. This is trying to actually create our front end for us. So what are its thought processes? It thought for a minute. The user wants me to focus on the front end now. So let me shift to building the React front end for the fresh press laundry management system. The backend is mostly done. I'll come back to fix the minor links issues later. Let me build a premium React dashboard. Okay. So it is, of course, doing its thing. It's trying to set up React. You can see npx y create. Maybe this is not working or whatever the issue is. I'm sure it will solve by itself. And let me see. I want to see how it actually decided to pick fresh press to build. So let's see that. So I choose laundry service, yeah, and it thought for 12 seconds. The user choose laundry services as the industry. Now I need to design the full for a laundry business management system. So we are building not even a landing page, right? Even thought it's a landing page we built, but okay, no problem. Let me plan this out properly, research a specific company or archetype, design the system, and create a detailed implementation plan. So it completed the research. I need to expand this research. I need to see what it did. So the first research, a comprehensive laundry. So these are some questions it asks and answer: payment processing and billing. So it says here a comprehensive laundry business management system integrates various features to streamline operations, enhance customer experience, and improve efficiency. The key aspects include robust order tracking. So you want to track uh, is this person's clothes? This is goodness Mbakara's clothes. You don't want to mix my clothes with Victor's clothes. You want to also delivery scheduling, pricing models, essential system requirements. So okay, I think I'm liking this. You could of course make changes. Exactly, this is what I want. If you want detergent, you want folding, if you want ironing, if you want different things that you want, SMS, email, or WhatsApp. Some system also facilitate customer portals for sales. This is beautiful. So he did all this research, and then uh, this other research as well. So designing robots for a Spring Boot best, leveraging adhere to core principles. These are the core RESTful principles. I'm trying to find where it decided to build FreshPress API. So all of this and all of this and all of this, then drafting the database schema API and design for press. Okay, belt. I'm actually really intrigued. So I'm going to search for FreshPress online. Actually, I'm going to take on the search myself. I'm really intrigued. Like why? So let me see if FreshPress exists or it is your neighborhood for juices, creative studios, design. So this is an archetype, right? This is an archetype. So an archetype is just like saying like an idea, it's not the real stuff. It does not exist really. But the guy decides that okay, I have gathered research, I understand what laundry services want and what a laundry service management tool should actually have, and I'm going to implement that. Okay, that's beautiful as well. I think I love that. Think I love that. Okay, so let's see what's the progress so far. You can see our front end is progressing. This is our fresh press web. It's progressing. Interesting. So I can't wait to see the beauty that we have here. I'll go back to our other processes to see how far it has gone. So we have installed all of this. Beautiful. So now once the front end is ready, we can actually start already. So testing APIs, the tests are going through. Okay. Mhm. So I'll tell you, you can also start the backend service and use call to test that the endpoint works as expected. Yeah, works as expected. Okay. Be sure to resolve all issues that you come across while texting, while testing rather. So I've told it, okay, continue, do test, run the server, test it as much as is necessary. If you encounter any issues at all, test actually resolve this. So I'll send that in and I'll go back to the front end. This is me trying to race against time, really racing against time to be sure that we meet up. So it is creating a login, dashboard, orders. Oh, this actually stopped due to error. I'm just going to change model and tell it to continue. So which model? I don't really care about the model really. Since I know that my prompt is actually really amazing, my prompt will get the job done. So any model at all I come across, any decent model is going to actually get my job done. And I'm going to share at the end of this series or at the end of this particular call, I'll share with you why, just the reason that my agent is so smart that I can use any model. So it says the front end is live. Let's see. Oh, this is what FreshPress looks like. I think this is awesome, but I don't really like it. So I'll tell you to create okay, I'll tell you to design a better landing page. Okay, so we should have a landing page. It should not just be login screen and get this page to look better. Get this page to look better as well. Okay. So of course there are other issues that it is still trying to fix and all of that. I think I will also introduce you to something else while the whole workflow is fixing up. Okay. Also, have a custom favicon. The icon for this. Um, Also get a customized professional logo. Exactly. So I want to do all of that. And then I'm going to introduce you to something called 24.dev. Hope I got it right. 24.dev or 27.dev. Um, okay, so that's wrong. So let's see 27.dev. 27 dev. Let me see. 24 dev. Okay, 24dev.co. This is it. So here is one really amazing place that you can actually come to see projects, different projects that you can pick from. 24 development. Just a minute, let me come back here. I think I went to the wrong place. 24.com. Let me see. I still think I'm not getting the right resource, but I think I'll try getting. Do you remember the resource, the 24.dev stuff? What's it? Yeah, let me try to get it from my colleague here. Oh, I think I like this logo. 21.dev. 21.dev. Okay, thank you. So it's actually 21.dev. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, wow. Okay, I believe this is it. Just to confirm, can everyone still hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes. Yeah, sir.
Oh, fantastic. So you can see what we have here. Uh, Windows. Run your laundry business, all of this. I'm going to create one witness Mbakara. This is interesting anyway. Witness Mbakara. Email Mbakara witness edit. I'm going to create, just trying to create an account and see if it will work undetected. Okay, but this is actually pretty amazing. I think like this looks great. Let me I'll tell you to actually hook up our front end with our back end. Hook up front end with back end and be sure everything works. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. I'll check on the back end testing. It's still fixing a lot of errors as well. I mean, we are building a whole management system in under an hour. I would expect that there are a lot of errors, and we have gone so far already to have a screen up. Um, let's see, this is it. So it is currently trying to actually hook up the front end with the back end. Okay. Okay. This is fantastic. So it's restarting the backend server. Let me relocate this so that I can see clearly what this has to say. So this is my terminal. I hope you're not scared of it. So the build is successful. I don't even know what this means. If you notice that we've not really gone into Java. I don't know Java. I mean, I learned Java in my university. I don't even know it that much. I'm not used it to write code professionally. I don't know about what's it called, the Spring Boot. I use Django. I use Python to write my backend. But you can see that right now we just built a Spring Boot application, something that we've never used before. I mean, that is pretty amazing on its own. I'm going to try creating account again. Request failed, forward through. Okay, at least that is better. Create an account. I think at some point, let's have better error handling here as well. So I'll go back to. I mean, there are a lot of errors. It's correcting by itself. Let's have better error handling, and I should be able to create an account. Okay. So just in a few minutes, while that is going on and while all of this is going on, I would like to come back to the meeting and I would like to give room for questions. So if you have any question, now would be the time you can use the microphone and speak. You can also drop your questions in the chat as well. Thank you.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, so I suppose the
Hello.
questions. Okay, are you speaking? Are you saying something? Please go
Hello.
ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. You seems like I heard you mention you've been using Django and Python for your backend before
Yes,
using
yes,
this
that's what I
framework.
use. That's what I use.
Okay. So, like, I'm not really getting the difference between the agentic period of building backend using or this agentic program, just like the one you are using, and the traditional one. I feel like the Django is like it's more of a traditional way of building. I'm not really getting the gap. I don't know if you can throw a light on it.
Okay, that's fantastic. Actually, that was really fantastic. So now Django is a framework. Okay, that's fine. Django is a framework, just like Django REST framework is, and I would expect just like Spring Boot is. So the agentic programming, which is basically agents writing code for you. So basically, these agents, they are a means, a tool that actually solves your problem. So they could use Django to solve this problem. And in this case, it is using Spring Boot to solve the problem. So the gap here is that I am not writing, like, would you be able to build an entire management system in 1 hour? I doubt, even if you're a software engineer, it is highly almost impossible. Like a senior software engineer, it's highly impossible to do what we have done in 30 minutes because you have to, we have installed applications, we have built a fully functioning front end and back end as well in about 30 minutes. I think, are you getting the picture now, Innocent? So the
Yes.
gap is one, humans write it, and the other agent write it, not just humans prompting. So I mentioned that when I started writing code, actually, the what we had was Reddit. There was Reddit, of course. There was Stack Overflow as well. Then, before ChatGPT came along, and we could prompt ChatGPT, we get a block of code, we copy it and go and put in our editor or in a source file, whatever you call it. And then all of that happened. We now had Cursor. Cursor now said, okay, you don't need to go and just copy again. We are going to edit it in your editor for you. But now these agents like Antigravity come across and say that, hey, we are not just going to change code for you. We are going to research. We are going to take note of what you like. We are going to take note of the best practices. We are going to remember things that you say, things that you do, and make sure each time we are doing something better than the last time. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do right
Hello.
now, I'm just going to look at. Okay, please go ahead. Someone else has questions. Please go ahead. Please, if you have a question, kindly go ahead, please. Let me close this down. If you have a question, kindly go ahead.
Okay, me, I still have a question. I don't know.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'm into the security aspect of tech. So part of my project is I have to know how to build what I'm to protect. So looking based on your experience, at least you have experience on the previous way they have been building using the Django, because I'm still like using the Django and I'm having this doubt that, oh, I'm using the Django. Meanwhile, the world is moving forward. The world is no longer doing all this. They are using AI to help them do the job.
Okay.
The security aspect, is it why building with all this agentic AI? Do you still have that same experience of building traditionally using the Django to build? Do you still have that same? Because I have to understand what I'm building. It's like I feel like AI the agent doing the work for you will not allow you to have a proper clue of what is happening
Okay.
behind the
Okay.
scene. I don't
Okay.
know, for you that have gone to this stage, do you still have that same feeling of understanding what is happening behind the scene, like how you create files, the HTML file, group them, the Python file, group them, the school app, the folder, just the way you build them, you build and you have those files. Do you still have that same experience building with um the agentic AIs?
So the short answer is no, and the long answer is yes. Now, they are both correct. So you see that, like I tried to point to you that AI or the agent is not replacing the actual code, the actual framework. It's still Django, right? The same security flaws that you had when you write the Django yourself, it's still the same security flaw that you will have when the agent does it, if the agent did exactly what he did, anyways. So that is why it is important for the humans to be in the, of course, like I mean, like for now, I can see its thought. What is the AI thinking about? It is now trying to formulate the next steps to move closer to the ultimate target and focusing on organizing the steps needed and determining the best pathway. I'm on track with the action plan and the appropriate steps are in focus. You can check its command. Which command did it run? Okay, you can check the command. Okay, when it said this, which command did it try to run? And you can say that, you can set it that before it runs any command, you have to review that command and accept before it runs. Okay, and all of that. So you're in the process, you are following, oh, okay, it is fixing course policy in Spring Boot to permit pre-flight requests. Okay, so there's a course that's cross-origin request. I would have not known the meaning of this if I was not a software developer before starting to write code, right? So what I do personally, I have a lot of courses I take. I have books. Even if I go to the ends of my PC, you see that there are other books that are open as well that I'm yet to actually research and to learn about. So, what am I saying? In the end, AI will do its thing, but you have to review
Serious
what
right
AI
now.
is doing, and you have to also learn new things so that you can be able to stay in the loop and tell AI, oh, I think you are beginning to go astray. I think that you are beginning to not do the right things. And then you can guide the AI to do the right thing. You know the security things, you know the common security flaws that AI will have, or that this project, a financial project will have, a smart contract project would have, maybe reentrancy, we are talking about solidity, maybe different things, the scaffolding, the architecture, are you building a microservices? You have to be in the middle and make the decisions for the AI. You guide the AI. I mean, you remember when we started safe and the AI was like, should I pick laundry service? Should I pick this one? And first even analyze you can tell it different things. Tell it, oh, I don't want this, I want that, I want this to be more clearer, I want this to be more that. In the end, it's the human that is in the back end of the wheel that guides everything and make every other thing works. Somehow I believe anti-gravity has gotten the best of us. Is like, oh, these guys are really prompting us, and it's taking a lot of time to run. Actually wanted to have a better front end. I think I'll take it to another screen, fixing backend test. Okay, so these tests are running. Everything is actually kind of coming to a halt. So I'm going to use another prompt in another screen. So I want to actually get the front end better, and then I should wrap this up in the next 15 minutes or less. Thank you. Is there any other question? Uh, did you get understand my question, innocent? I mean my answer.
Yes, I get to understand it. So what the let me say my final question is so in essence or in finalizing, I have to both know the fundamentals and then pitch it in with the active way of doing it, or I have to focus on the active way of doing it. And what about knowing what I'm doing? That's the aspect of I have to know what I'm actually doing is where the whole thing
Yes,
lies on.
yes.
I don't know if you can throw a light on it.
Yes, you actually have to know what you're doing. But I would say don't start by knowing what you're doing. Start by doing. And then when you have the chance, then you know what you're doing. So there are a lot of things I don't know personally. There are a lot of courses that are unfinished personally. But I do first when I have the chance, because I can easily tell. I mean, I've never written Spring Boot. I've not had any reason to write Spring Boot before. But we've just built a management system with Spring Boot, right? So I can ask the AI, okay, what tools do we need to actually use the Spring Boot? He told us Maven, he told us Java, he told us some other tools, right? And of course, went ahead to install them. So I didn't need to know that really. I didn't need to know that for to actually get this working. So if a client, because there's a client that needed something ASAP, 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 I would have just implemented. But for me to be able to have a talk like this and present to other people, I need to know what the landing page is. I need to know that if I go and carry a landing page and give to AI as a reference to make our landing page better, that the AI will make it actually better. I need to know that if and when other places are getting clogged up like this, and the responses are becoming rather really, really slow, I might need to restart another new service entirely, or by service, I actually mean a new process. So I'm going to stop this and tell it to continue. Yeah, really. I'll tell it to continue. It's done a lot of work and the guy is tired. Well, I'm telling it to continue. I stop the process, halt everything, and because it has ephemeral knowledge, what it will do, it will clear its entire knowledge. And then remember when we talked about KIs, knowledge items, to pick up what are the knowledge items by reviewing the task. These are the tasks it has, and then to remove it reviews the implementation plans. These are the implementation plan, and to now remember, oh, I was actually here. Oh. It told us that okay, all tests pass, manual code verify all tests, serialization and error handling. But all of this worked, so it remembered where it was while also clearing up the history automatically. I hope you are following. And
Yes.
I'm also going to go back. I'm going to stop this entirely and I'll delete this too. Now, let's just get the front end working. Once the front end works, once the front end works totally and very well, then I'm going to show you a particular secret. Now, I'll give you a hint to it. When I told it to do this thing, look at what my agent did. My agent thought the user wants me to create a landing page for their Fresh Press project, a laundry service inspired by the Xwatch.ng website layout. but with custom assets. Let me first look at the existing. Look at what it did. It explored my directories, and after exploring and seeing everything that we have, it analyzed a file called skill.md. So this is a secret that a lot of people don't know. So you can actually create skills for your agent. So my agent actually has a skill for design, has a skill for debugging tasks, has a skill for even deploying, has a skill for different things. So what is this skill? This is UI UX Pro Max. And this gives it intelligence, styles, design palettes, fonts, different things. And this is a comprehensive design guide for web and mobile applications. Okay, so when do you apply it? Design new UI components, choosing color palette. Because we know that when we started the conversation, Mr. Victor said that if AI actually creates a website by a man looking, he's going to know. Then we went ahead and created a website, and he did not know that it's AI that created it, right? So what happened? I know that there are a lot of things that AI don't look out for by itself. So I begin to tell it accessibility is critical, touch and interaction is critical. These are critical things. So these are color contrast. These are the rules, focus states, visible focus rings, interactive elements, all of these. Performance is high, use this, lazy loading, check, prefer. So these are things, these are skills. So before my agents begin to build something, you are following me, right? Please, if you are following, indicate. Let me know you can still hear me, please.
Yes, I'm following.
Oh, fantastic. So before it actually starts building anything, these are some rules. Use SVG icons, use emojis like this as UI icons. So this is a rule, no emoji icon. Do use SVG icons. Never use all these emojis. You see all these things on someone's website. I don't like it. Use color, opacity, all of this. So at the end of this, all of this to now see, okay, to now have a checklist. No emojis was used to check. All icons from consistent icon set to check. Brand logos are correct, verified from simple icons to check all this. And then you can say that, oh, okay, the UI UX checklist was actually created. So once that is done and we are done creating and able to sign in to our freshness website, then we can call this a day and I will be sharing all of that with you. So this is what Fresh Press looks like. I can imagine that this looks good. This is laundry management. You see the dashboard. This is total orders. These are seeded data, pending, picked up, processing. These are orders. You can create a new order, I suppose. This is interesting. This is working. It even seeded some users for us with their phone number, no special instructions. These are the sales wash and fold 153,000 iron only. Create order like crazy. So actually, you can already work. You know that we already know that this is undervalued. A lot of people are not doing it. Even took into come. This is crazy. It it is talking about my location. So this is like actually crazy. Services, wash and fold, dry cleaning, iron, art service. I should be able to log out, I suppose. I went to somewhere else. Should be able to log out, and this is actually really amazing. Uh, this is taking a lot of time, and because of that, I think we are going to come back to it. I would say that our management side is actually ready. The rest of other stuff is just improvement that we want to set. So I'm going to give this single prompt, and then this is supposed to give you some trade secrets that will help you in anti-gravity. So we just concluded. Let me use the voice note feature. Yeah, this is the voice note feature. So, Gemini, we just concluded the presentation. If you check the speaker slides you created for us, you will remember what the presentation was all about. And we have created this fancy application, you will see, Freshness website. And I want to actually give the people that attended this session the necessary skills and power that my agent has, that has enabled it to create all of this workflow and this interface in such little time frame. So I want you to actually go through all my skill sets, or all your skill sets rather, and come up with a single prompt that the users can use to create similar skill sets in, or even better ones, in their own anti-gravity as well, globally, that will power their workflows, their next design projects, their next hobby project, from design to test-driven development and complex problem solving. Thank you. So this single prompt, you can see when I started this class, I came unprepared. I asked Antigravity to prepare me by generating a slide. It actually generated some very nice slides for us. It asked me. And then we now asked it to create a teacher slide. It was even the one that suggested the teacher slides, the speaking notes, and created it for us. Oh, my dad is calling. I have to take the call, please. Hello, sir. Yeah, please, let me call you back. I am in a session, please. All right, thank you. So this is creating all the necessary things, it's analyzing the skill, and this is actually for you. I would say that I have come to the end of this session, Mr. Victor. You can see what our laundry website looks like. You can decide to make this better. I'm sure our AI at the end of the day will also create a better design workflow for us, or rather, what do we call it? Design landing page for us, which it is still here. It's actually trying to copy this icon. Let me tell it to continue and see if that works. So continue. Let's see if that works and we can achieve that before this ends. Yeah. So of course, sometimes I use Cairo as well. Sometimes I use Coso. Sometimes I use different other stuff. And this, while the prompt is actually going to give us the senior AI engineer flow, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to send to everyone on the community. So if you are not on the community, this will be a good time to actually join the community. If you have any questions, this will be like the final time you have to ask the question. Thank you very much. I'll be sharing a other thing with you guys. But now, questions, and I'll share with Victor the prompt that you put into your anti-gravity that will change things for you, or even Cairo, even Cursor, even any AI agent at all. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Goodness, for that impressive session. Um, we have really gone a long way to. I know a lot of people here, they have been hearing about AI and agentic workflows and vibe engineering. We have gone a long way to break this concept down and even gone practical to build a website. And honestly speaking, we are, should I say, done with the session, but we still have people joining in. And the good thing is the entire session has been recorded, so it will be shared on YouTube. I must say thank you everybody. I wasn't expecting this number for it because it's been like since last year August we had our last session. Thank you so much if you are here. And the call for speakers is still on. So it's, if you look at Vibe Engineering series, it's not a one-day event, it's not a one-time event, it's a series, which means we'll be having different talks. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that we know how to use AI to effectively build and integrate anything we want to do without having to rely on just prompting, because prompting alone is not enough. If at all you really want to build something that is going to stand out, prompting alone is not enough. That's why we have this session. So please, if you have any question, do well to ask. You can type or you can unmute your camera. And if you are not in the community, I'll share the I'll share the link to join now. You can join our Google groups or the WhatsApp group, any of the two. And also the call for speakers is still on. So please do well to share or submit your talk too. You don't have to, it must not necessarily be on coding. How can you use AI to, I mean, very soon we are going to have Nano Banana Day, and basically be using Nano Banana to create different inspiration for designs, graphics, illustration. It doesn't have to be a technical thing. So please go ahead and do the call for um send a talk for, we are not really late. So join the community so I can send the recording, which will be shared on YouTube. I think this is the only way you can get access to the recording when it's uploaded on YouTube. For those that have requested, I'm going to grant access to it. All right. So do you have any questions so far? Okay. So is there anybody that wants to contribute or want to say one or two things? Let's say key takeaways as we wrap up the session and call it a day. I mean, it's been a long day. Yeah, maybe you can just say, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me? Good evening.
Yeah, you can hear you.
I'm not asking a question, Sha. I just want to say well done to you, Mbakara, for that wonderful session. You did a really good job. The research and the way you prompt things with the AI is it's really, really impressive. I just love it. So please, kudos to that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Okay, and
thank
Mr.
you.
I would like to
All right.
comment on your explanation strategy. It's quite impressive. And like the way you were able to break things down, it's quite very good, to be honest. So thank you very much.
Oh, why not? Please, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just so happy that you are able to understand. So happy you're able to understand. My social handles, okay. So I am Goodness Mbakara everywhere. In fact, if you Google me, if you ask Antigravity about Goodness Mbakara, it will tell you that, oh, this is Goodness Mbakara. But on Twitter, I'm sharing my Twitter handle right away. So on the chat, you can see me there. That's Goodness Mbakara. I'm most active there. You can also reach out to me on WhatsApp if you want to. My WhatsApp is right here. Yeah, that's my WhatsApp. And I mean, you can pretty much find me anyway. You just go with the name Goodness Makara.
I guess I still have to admit more people into the call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
honestly.
they will say the closing prayers for us, really.
Okay, so I'm going to, for the last time, I'll just drop the link to the community. Please do well to join. And honestly, I don't feel like ending the session, but we have come to the end of the session, and our speaker needs to rest. Imagine talking for how many hours? And yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah. I want to just briefly summarize what we've been able to do so far and get, of course, those just joining to see. I believe that they will all have to join the community to get the prompt. I have sent it already to you. So this is what we've been able to build so far. Uh, Basically, Fresh Press, which actually is a laundry website. So I'm trying to log in now because we created an account. I don't even know if login works because we've not tested it, but it works. It works. It literally works. So you can log in, you create an account that works already. We tested it before, and you can see this beautiful dashboard. that, of course, gives you a summary of everything in your store. You have different orders, customer, Amara, or Carrefour. Processing, you can change the different things. You can, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. We've not explored the beauty that Antigravity has created for us. These are customers. You can add new customers. Let me just add this customer. And the top customer is here. Would you imagine? Crazy, right? These are services. You can add a service. Wash and fold is 1.5. Dry cleaning 3,000 per piece. Iron only. So people can just know your services at once, and you don't have to. No problems sorting people's clothes. I don't know if you've ever given your clothes to a dry cleaner and the dry cleaner is confused about your clothes or has given your clothes to someone else. There is so much improvement we can make on this. Personally, this landing page needs a total revamp. We don't have time to do all of that. I will also commit this to Git and share with Victor. So Victor will share with the community as well. You can decide to turn this into something that you can actually sell to dry cleaners, laundry businesses in your vicinity. Thank you very much for being here today. I wish you a really fantastic evening and rest of your day. I yield the microphone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, really so much. Let me. I left the call, and I'm joining back. So let me. I need to share the community link for the last person that just joined. Um, let me see. Okay, there you go. So join here. All right, good. Thank you so much for coming to the end of our first session on Vibe Engineering series. This is Machine Learning Rio. The call for speakers is still on, and we are looking at creating directories for us to showcase all the projects and whatever we'll be doing. At Machine Learning Uyo, we discuss about how we can advance AI and how we can use it to solve problems around us. In the absence of any other question, please join the group. We will continue discussion and chats in there. And that is a wrap. Thank you, everybody. Bye.